How many games will the New Orleans Saints win in 2026? What's going on, Saints fans and guys? It's your boy Man Jones here, back with another NFL record prediction. And this time we'll be predicting the 2026 New Orleans Saints record predictions for the NFL season. We're going to get things started here. I'm going to go by game picks and game by game analysis, see which games I think the Saints are going to win and which games I think the Saints will lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the New Orleans Saints for a 2026 NFL season, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel more option, and comment down your opinion below to see how good you think the Saints will be. Do you think the Saints will win the NFC South? Do you think they'll make the playoffs? Or do you think they're going to miss out on the playoffs again and be a bad team? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. So week one, they got things kicking off against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Obviously, the Lions should easily win this game. I mean, the Lions are at home. They got the better quarterback. They got the better coach. And, there's a much more complete team overall. I mean, I just don't think the Saints defense is going to be able to go toe-to-toe against the Lions because the Lions got a lot of good weapons on offense that can really give the Saints defense problem. Like, they got to deal with Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got to deal with Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jameson Williams. Like, that's a lot of weapons on offense that can really give the Saints defense problems. So, yeah. And I just really feel like, the defense of Detroit may not be as good as New Orleans, but I think the Lions defense will make more stops as well because they do have the pass rush to get after Tyler Shuck. They have the corners in the secondary that can man up against the Saints receiving core because I don't think the Saints receiving core is as good as the Lions. And especially the Lions got more weapons on offense, but I think Goff will make more plays. So, yeah, I feel like the Lions should easily win that game. Week 2, they got to play against the Ravens, which is games in Baltimore. So I got the Ravens winning because, the game's in Baltimore where it's a tough place to play at. The Ravens got a better quarterback. They're at home. They're just a more complete team. And I just really feel like the Ravens, defense is much improved this year by adding Calais Campbell and Trey Hendrickson. So now they do have the pass rush to get after Shuck, which I don't think the Saints offense is going to be able to do much against that. And I think the Ravens do have a great secondary, too, with a good cornerbacks group that can really man up against your pass catchers. And I think Lamar Jackson is going to make more plays. And the Saints are bad against mobile quarterbacks as well. So I feel like Lamar Jackson is going to do enough to, throw the ball up in the air, at least slice and dice your secondary up because the Ravens do got weapons on the outside that can really give the Saints defense problems. Like, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews a problem. And I don't think they'll have an answer for Derrick Henry, which I think he'll have a good game against your defense. And I feel like he can run over your defense. So, yeah. So, I feel like the Ravens should easily get this win here. Then week 3, they got to play versus the Raiders at their home opener. I actually got the Saints winning this, getting their first win this season against the Raiders because I feel like the Saints are just going to be a better team than the Raiders. They have a better – and they're at home. And the Raiders, I don't know. They have a great defense, but I just don't think their offense is as good or as talented. I just don't think the Saints really – I don't think the Raiders really have a lot of good weapons on offense that can really get past, to expose the Saints defense because I don't think the Saints defense is going to get exposed by any means because I feel like their D-line can get after who's ever playing quarterback for the Raiders, which I don't know who's playing. Is it going to be Fernando Mendoza or Kirk Cousins? And I just have more faith that the Saints offense, it's not good, but I feel like they feel like Shuck can make more plays as well. And I just think the Saints defense is just going to win this game. And Brandon Staley, when he was the Chargers head coach before, the Chargers did beat the Raiders multiple times. I feel like Brandon Staley pretty much knows what he's doing. He's going to find a formula how to attack the Raiders offense. So, yeah, I think the Saints are going to win this game here at home. Then, week 4, they play versus the Falcons on the Monday night primetime in New Orleans. I actually think the Saints are going to split the Falcons this year, so I'm going to give the Saints a win here at home. because I just really feel like the Saints are going to want revenge from last year because, the Falcons swept them last year. And I just feel like, this time around, I think the Saints are going to win one game against them. But because I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Falcons, either going to be Tua or Penix. I still think the Saints are pretty much a better team than Atlanta. And I believe in Shuck more as well. And I just think the Falcons, I don't think their defense is that good, but I think the Saints' defense is a lot better, and I think they'll make more plays, which I think that allows the Saints to win this game. So, yeah. Then week 5, they have to play at home against the Minnesota Vikings. This is another game that can definitely go either way. Now, in my Vikings record prediction video, I did have the Vikings winning this game. So I might change my mind, though. I mean, Brian Flores is a challenge. Like, he's a good defensive coordinator. He's I feel like he's gonna find a way how to confuse the Saints offense because he did it a couple times. I mean, we'll probably see. I mean, their offensive line. I mean, the Vikings have great weapons on offense that can really give the Saints defense problems. Kevin O'Connell, he's probably gonna have tricks up his sleeves against the Saints defense. And also, I feel like the Saints and Vikings kind of match up well on paper. So, yeah, I could definitely see this game being a close game, but I'm going to go with a bit of an upset here. I'm going to go with New Orleans win. I know that's crazy, but I'm going to say the Saints get their 3rd straight win. I just really think the Saints, I just really think that their defense is going to find a way how to confuse Kyler Murray and make life difficult on him. And also, the Vikings defense, it might not be as good as last year, but I feel like the Saints offensively, they can get after that secondary because I feel like Chris Olave can have a good game. I feel like, Travis Etienne can have a good game as well. So, yeah. But I think the Vikings do have better coaching and a better quarterback, and they're a better team. But I just think New Orleans is going to have the edge here. So, yeah, I think the Saints find a way to pull this one off and win this game. But I wouldn't rule out the Vikings winning, but I just have a feeling that the Saints are going to have the opportunity to beat the Vikings. And I feel like Brandon Stanley, when he was the head coach of the Chargers, he did beat the Vikings multiple times. I feel like he's pretty much going to find a way how to contain Kyler Murray and all that. So, yeah, I think the Saints win that game. Then week 6, they got to play on the road against the New York Giants. This is another game that can definitely go either way. I mean, I could definitely see this game going either way. I mean, I know most people could be picking the Saints to win and all that, but I don't know. It's kind of tough to choose, but I'm going to say the Giants win this game. I think the Giants, they're at home, and I just really feel like that, the Giants are much improved this year. I feel like they have a better coach right now in Harbaugh, who I believe in. The quarterbacks are even. They got good weapons on offense that can really give the Saints defense problems. I mean, Malik Nabers is a problem. They added guys like Isaiah Likely, Darnell Mooney, OBJ. The O-line may not be as good, but their defense, their D-line is fine, but they're not really good, but it may not be as good as it can be. But I feel like the Giants, defensive line can get pressure, and I think they can get after Tyler Shuck and make life difficult on them. So, yeah, and I feel like the offense, I think Dart's going to have time as well. He's going to find a way to at least, run through your defense, and I feel like you guys don't really have the corners to man up against Malik Nabers and those guys. I feel like Malik Nabers is going to have a good game as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't rule out the Saints winning, but I just feel like the Giants at home, I feel like they're gonna find a way to sneak this one out. Then week 7, they have to play at home versus Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is in Paris. Now, this is a home game for the Saints. Now, I could definitely see this game going either way. Now, I know people could be on the Saints to win because the Saints defense could be better than the Steelers. And I pretty much understand the Steelers pretty much have a weaker defense. And they're very predictable. They got some good players on there. They got players on that defense who are getting old, but they're soft at times. They're very predictable. Like I can totally see the Saints offense having success though. And I think the Saints defense could be good enough to at least fool Aaron Rodgers and make the Steelers offense one dimensional. So yeah, but I feel like this game right here is gonna be close, but I feel like it's gonna be more of a defensive battle. But I'm gonna go with the Steelers here to win this game. And the reason for it is that I just think the Steelers, are just a more complete team. And I just really feel like that I have more faith in that their defense is gonna get more stops. And I feel like they'll find a way to get after Tyler Shuck and make life difficult on them. And I feel like, I don't think the Saints gonna be able to run the ball effectively. So which that allows the Steelers defense to make plays there, and that puts the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands. And the Steelers got better weapons on offense as well, which I think that Aaron Rodgers will make more plays against your secondary. Because I don't think you guys have the corners to man up against DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Darnell Washington, Pat Farmu, yeah. And I don't think you're gonna have an answer for Rico Dow as well. So he could totally have a day as well. So yeah. But I don't think both teams will run the ball. But I kind of really feel like it's gonna be more of a defensive game. But I feel like this is a game where I think the Steelers defense will win the game as well. And also the Steelers are just a more complete team, like I said, and they have the better quarterback. And I think their coaching is better. So yeah, I think the Steelers are gonna win this game here. Then they have a week 8 bye. Then after the bye week, they have to play at home against the Cleveland Browns. This is a game that can definitely go either way. I mean, I'm leaning towards New Orleans winning this game because I think the Saints are just a much more complete team. They're at home, and I don't really know who's playing quarterback for the Browns. Either going to be Deshaun Watson, is going to be Dylan Gabriel or Shador. Like, I don't think the Browns are a good team this year. Like the Browns, like their offensive line made improvements, but I don't think it's good. Their defense might be the same after losing Myles Garrett. Then they added Jerry Verse in there, and they lost their defense coordinator too. So yeah, and the Browns defense is not as good on the road. So I feel like the Saints offense can have success there, and I feel like the Saints defense it's gonna make more stops, and I feel like they can get pressure. They can get after the Browns offense. Like I don't think the Browns are gonna be able to do much offensively, and I feel like Brandon Stanley is gonna find a way how to at least like attack Cleveland's offense. He'll find a way to attack Todd Monken's offense as well. So yeah, so I think the Saints are a much more complete team and being in or at home. So yeah, which why I think the Saints find a way to win this game. Week 10, they got to play at home versus the Carolina Panthers. I feel like this is a Saints win right here because I feel like the Saints are a much more complete team. They have the better. I feel like that they're at home and both of these two teams will split the season series. And also I just really think the Saints defense is gonna give the Panthers offense some fits, and the Saints really know how to play the Panthers really well. So yeah, that's why I think the Saints will win the first game. Then week 11 they got to play on the road against Chicago Bears. Um, Obviously, this is another game. I actually got the Bears winning this game because the Bears are at home. They are like the much more complete team, better quarterback, better coaching. Like yeah, and the Bears got better offense as well, better weapons, which I think they'll find a way to. I feel like Caleb can do enough to at least like dice up your secondary. I feel like they have a strong running game with the running backs of Swift and Monangai. I think they can run the ball in the Saints. They can throw the ball in the Saints. I feel like Loveland can have a good game. I feel like Burden can, Roma Dunze. Like I don't think the Saints really have the guys in the secondary that can match up well with those weapons. And then the Bears defense, like it may not be as good, but I feel like Dennis Allen, he's gonna find a way to have tricks up his sleeves against the Saints offense. And this is a little bit of revenge game for Dennis Allen. So yeah, so I think the Bears, find a way to win this game in Chicago at home. Then week 12 against the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like this is a Bengals win here because the Bengals are pretty much going to be a good team this year. I feel like they will be a playoff team this year. They have the better quarterback. They're at home, and they're a more complete team. And I just really think the Bengals, I just don't really think, I just feel like the weapons that they have on offense and Chase and Higgins are just going to be too much for your secondary to handle, because I don't think the Saints really have the cover guys to man up against those receivers. And the Bengals defense is pretty much improved by adding veterans, and their secondary is much improved by adding veterans, which I think their defense can find a way to make more stops, and I feel like they can get after Tyler Shuck as well. And I think they can make the Saints passing offense look one-dimensional in there too. So, yeah. So, the Bengals, they should be able to win this game as well, because I feel like Burrows is going to be too much for your defense, and he's going to like dice you up. So yeah, that's why I think the Bengals will win that game. Week 13 they play versus the Packers at home. I think the Packers get the win here because the Packers are the more complete team. They have the better quarterback. They have the better coaching staff, and I just really think the Packers, they have the better defense. Like, I just don't think the Saints going to be able to run the ball effectively that well against them, because Green Bay can stop the run really good. And Green Bay has better offense as well. They got better weapons that can really give the Saints defense problems, because I don't think the Saints really have the guys in the secondary that can really go toe-to-toe against Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft. Like, yeah. And I feel like Josh Jacobs can have a good game too, which I don't think the Saints defense will go toe-to-toe against them. So, yeah. So, I think the Packers offense will stay balanced, which that will keep the Saints defense on their heels. So, I think the Packers win this game. Then week 14, they got to play on the road against the Carolina Panthers. I think they're going to split the season series, so I'm going to say Panthers win this game here. Because I feel like the Panthers might have much to play for this game. And I feel like Carolina's defense could be better than the Saints, but I feel like both their defenses are a bit even. So, yeah, and I think they're going to fight for the division. So, yeah, so basically, I got the Panthers win that second game. Then week 15, they got to play against the Buccaneers, and then they play the Bucs in week 18. I think they'll split the season series. So I'm gonna say the Bucs win the first game, and I'm gonna say the Saints win the last game at home. I kind of really feel like the Bucs may not be a good team this year, because I kind of really feel like the Bucs are gonna regress, because they lost Mike Evans. Their offensive line is okay. Their defense, like, they lost some pieces, which I don't think they're gonna be the same, and I don't think they're as good as they are, and they're very weaker on that side of the ball. I feel like the Saints got the more complete defense as well. So, which why I think the Saints will win one game against the Bucs, and I think the Bucs will beat the Saints, because the Bucs do have a better quarterback as well, and they're at home, and I feel like their offense is much better. But either way, I just really think that I just really think the Bucs are pretty much like a much more complete. It's hard to say who's the better roster, but the Saints got much more of a better defense than the Bucs, because I feel like the Bucs defense is very weak and they're very predictable. So yeah. And then week 16 against the Cardinals, I feel like this should be a Saints win right here. I mean, the Cardinals, I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Cardinals. Is it going to be Carson Beck, the rookie, or it's going to be Jacoby Brissett? But if it's a rookie, I wouldn't trust him on the road against a defense like the Saints that was really good last year. So, yeah, and especially I feel like the Saints are a better team. They have the better quarterback. Their coaching is better, a little bit better, but the Cardinals, they're going to be dealing with the new head coach that they have, which they're going to be dealing with a learning curve right there. So, yeah, I think the Saints win this game here. Then week 17 against the Atlanta Falcons, I think they'll split with the Falcons, so I'm giving the Falcons the win right here at home, because usually the Falcons play them tough every year. So, yeah, so I think the Falcons win that game there. So, overall, I have the Saints going at a total record of 7-10, which that could totally be good enough to win division. but we'll see what the Panthers hope, because I have the Panthers and Saints both fighting for the NFC South crown, because I think both these two teams have a good defense, but both offenses are sketchy. But I like to say the Bucs offense could be a lot better because they have a better quarterback. But I just really think the Saints, I kind of feel like they're going to be a decent team this year. Like, I don't really expect them to do any better than like 8-9 or 9-8, anything like that. So yeah, but they can do worse than 7-10, which I would not be surprised by that. But as you look at the schedule, it's very tough though, because they have to play the best division in the league, which is the NFC North. They have to play the Lions, the Vikings, the Bears, the Packers. They play the Steelers. They play the Ravens. They play an improved Bengals team. They play the Packers. Like, this is like a tough schedule. Like, anyway, though, I feel like anybody can win the NFC South, especially in a weak division. Like, the NFC South is like the weakest division ever. Like, it is. Like, I kind of feel like the Bucs have the odds to win the division, but I think they're going to be a lot worse than they were. But I do think 7-10 is good enough for the Saints to win the division, which I pretty much do have the Saints win the division and making the playoffs, because I really feel like they do have a better defense in that division, and I think the offense can only get a little better. But I think it did get a little better, especially the receiving core by adding Jordan Tyson in there. I feel like the Travis Etienne addition was nice to add to the backfield along with Alvin Kamara. And I'm kind of a believer in Tyler Shough. I think Tyler Shough is the future. I feel like could be the long-term future of their franchise. And I feel like he could take a leap this year. I feel like he could be the guy. But I'm not really a fan of like their coaching. I love Stanley as the defensive coordinator, but I'm not a big Kellen Moore guy. I feel like he's more of like a young coach and all that. So yeah. And I just really feel like that, the offensive line might need some work. The defense, like, it's still the same, despite they did lose some pieces like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan. But I still think they need to improve their corner position in the secondary. So I think they can only get better there. So yeah. So I feel like 7-10, 8-9 kind of sounds about right for the Saints. Maybe 6-11. I think they go somewhere from like 6-8 wins. And I think their floor can be like, I think they can go 5-12, 4-13 at worst, and maybe they win like 9-10 games at best if everything goes right. So yeah, I mean, 7-10 is what I got for the Saints. I mean, 3-3 in divisions, 5-7 in conference, 7-2 at home, 8-0 away. I mean, not bad. But I hope the Saints can prove me wrong. But that's how I really see it for the Saints at 7-10. I feel like that's my record prediction for them. So you let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the Saints. Like, do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Like, just let me know in the comments below. What you guys think about the Saints? So being like, So yeah. So this is Emmanuel Jones, a big fan. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. You can see more of my all my videos. You can see all my NFL record predictions through my playlist. So yeah, well, that's all for now that I got for you. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.